guys, so if you are a 13-year-old girl or just really like preteen movies on Netflix, then you would know that there is this new movie out on Netflix. It's called To All the Boys I've Loved. It is an awesome movie. Like, I'll be honest, as cold and bitter as my heart may be, I did manage to get a little bit teary-eyed during the movie. But the movie also got me thinking about all of the love letters that I used to write, and I had a lot of crushes, and I did used to write like secret love letters to these guys. I would write about them in my journals. I really did go out of my way to like try to get these guys to like me, but that was never gonna happen because I was a fat 12-year-old. So I felt like it would be very, very cathartic and funny to do a video addressing all of my childhood crushes. Shout out to you guys. I hope none of them are watching this. I have a feeling a few of them are gonna end up watching this, and it's gonna be so embarrassing. Oh well, I don't care. So my first crush ever in the entire history of time was Curtis in kindergarten, and I really don't know what I was thinking, mostly because I didn't speak English at that time in my life. I was like straight off the boat from Czech Republic, not a lick of English, just stumbled into kindergarten class one day and set my eyes on a hot piece of, that's disgusting. We were 6. He looked like Macaulay Culkin, which was one of my other crushes kind of, but then I saw him in this like one movie where he tried to kill his brother. And I think my crush for Macaulay Culkin ended there because I was like, that guy's a fucking psycho. But Curtis looked a lot like him. He had that little like mushroom haircut. He just had like the whole Justin Bieber vibe going on, and I was just like, All I knew was like I wanted to touch his face. Eventually I got over Curtis, which thank God, because Curtis ended up going through like a really awkward emo phase later on in school. So Curtis, thanks for being my first ever crush. On to John. John was like really a very, very intense emotional experience for me in 2nd grade because I really fucking did everything I could to make John notice me. John was super, super into sports, and this was like the era of like Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. Those were like the two big dudes. This is when like the Yankees were still good. I actually know nothing about sports, which is what makes this love affair that just went on really only in my head so much more heartbreaking. So since I knew that he loved sports, I decided that I was going to do everything in my power to learn about sports. So I started doing like a little bit of research. I learned players' names, and I became just like a full-fledged automated sports information robot. I'd go up to John and I'd be like, hey John, like, did you see the Yankees play last night? Yeah, like Derek Jeter. How about that guy, right? He's so good. And he'd be like, damn, Steph, you know a lot about sports. You're cool. And then I'd be like, yeah, I love you. Like, obviously I was in 2nd grade. I didn't want to like get down and dirty with John. I wasn't ready for that yet, but I really, really wanted to get like engaged, start talking about a family, maybe start like looking at like table runners, kitchen stuff for our soon to be home that we would live in one day together. And finally, like the obsession got so bad. I was like, okay, like knowing a lot about sports is not enough. Like I have to play sports. So I started playing basketball all the time. I joined the basketball team. I was terrible. All I did was sit on the bench and watch the other tall girls play. I'm a little human, so obviously I was not cut out for basketball. I really picked a shitty sport to try and impress a dude with. I should have picked something for little people, like, I don't know, midget wrestling. And then once I realized like I'm not gonna be good at sports, I was like, I can't just know about sports or play sports. I need to fucking be sports. So I was like, yo, mom, you have to take me to Marshall's. I need to buy some sports clothes. And fucking 8-year-old Stephanie walked out of Marshall's that day with a pair of with a pair of FUBU basketball shorts and a Yankees jersey. And I went to school like that. Next one is the, I don't know, I wrote down in my notes, the Holy Mother of Jesus of childhood crushes. Victor was the child of a family friend, and we used to go on trips together. We used to hang out all the time. He was from Czech Republic. I was so obsessed with Victor that I would literally play with Ouija boards and ask the demons whether Victor and I were going to end up together. Like, I was so deeply, deeply obsessed with him. Everybody in my family knew. They would tease me about me loving him in front of him, and he would just kind of like laugh about it. And like looking back now, he definitely thinks I'm a weirdo. I wanted to do things with him that I wasn't even sure what they were. You know, I got over it, but I gotta say, the Ouija board demons lied. They said I was gonna fucking kiss him and we were gonna be together, but obviously that didn't happen. Thanks a lot, demons, for nothing. So after like that series of unsuccessful crushes that never really amounted into anything because I was ugly and awkward, I decided that the best place for my crushes to exist would just to be in like my own imagination. And during like my 12, 13-year-old phase, I was a huge fan of the show Boy Meets World.
You know this kid?
Yeah, Sean Hunter.
We spotted your friend here loitering outside the high school.
I was seriously in love with Sean Hunter, even though I was like way too young for him and we would never ever meet in real life. Like that would just never happen. He was just everything that I would have wanted in a man. A runaway with a dark past on a sitcom on Disney Channel. Speaking of unrealistic Disney Channel induced crushes, I really fucking loved this guy. Who else loved this guy? I wanted to fucking go get ice cream with this guy and look at pictures of space together. What's up with this dude nowadays? I don't even know. He was on Disney Channel. He's probably on crack now. That is it. Those are all the boys I loved, and I am sad. I'm so emotionally inept, I can't even think of like a proper thing to say about how this makes me feel. But I guess maybe the lesson is that, you know, childhood crushes can feel so real, but when you look back on them, you're like, wow, I was an idiot. I was literally in love with the guy from the movie Brink on Disney Channel. I feel like we should all get a little cathartic in the comment section and talk about our childhood crushes, and I'm sure one person's gonna fucking ruin it for everybody and be like, oh, well, I ended up marrying him. Well, good for you, Karen. Thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Oh, and follow me on Instagram because, you know, I'm trying to make that a thing now. Okay, bye.